Thanks for having me back. I am so happy to be here and to see all of your wonderful faces again. I just absolutely love Justice Southbury for the incredible work we do and the visibility of our mission and vision in this town. And to echo so many of our group members' sentiments, I am so grateful for the community that we have built here, the fellowship. And though perhaps this element, the community element of our group, may be an externality of our message, it really is an essential factor of our work. The 19th Surgeon General of the U.S., Vivek Murphy, focuses a main portion of his work on the effects of loneliness. Research has shown that loneliness affects far more people than the number of people who have diabetes, the number of people who smoke, and the number of people who are impacted by many other medical conditions. Vivek Murphy categorizes this as a loneliness epidemic. The quintessential we the people, once served as a point of connection for us in this country, a collective consciousness, but it has lost almost all of its meaning in favor of the me, the individual, whose needs and values take precedence over the common good. There are modern day forces that make it harder to connect with one another, and of course, technology and social media are the obvious factors, and the role that COVID played in further pushing our lives on. But what Murphy discusses, and what I've determined from my time in college, is that the culture and the society that we have built, and which we all serve to maintain, values individual success and self-sufficiency over collaboration, and not having to rely on one another is celebrated. Our country's loss of empathy and trust has given room for rising rates of depression, of anxiety, and of loneliness, and thus rising rates of suicide, drug addiction, and violence. It creates a toxic environment for any individual, especially those more vulnerable. Several studies have found that 40% or more of trans people have attempted suicide at least once in their lifetime. 40% or more. LGBTQ plus youth contemplate suicide at least 3 times the rate of heterosexual youth. And LGBTQ youth attempt suicide at 5 times the rate of heterosexual youth. LGB youth from rejecting families are 8.4 times as likely to attempt suicide as LGB youth from accepting families. 8.4 times more likely because of the family support. Having a support network, a family who loves and who connects, is an integral protective factor for LGBTQ plus youth. Hatred and political divide have created a toxic environment, and we are failing to protect the most precious gift we have, life itself. To those of you who don't know, but I'm pretty sure all of you do, I graduated with my bachelor's 2 weekends ago. Yay! And I am the part of the first graduating class to have seen an entire college experience through the eyes of the pandemic. I was sent to quarantine during my freshman year, and I will still battle with the cultural and psychological repercussions of the pandemic, perhaps for the rest of my life. Uncertainty looms ahead for me, with smoke-filled skies and more than 20 million people a year forced from their homes by climate change. I do not know what my future holds, but one thing that is certain is that I will always feel the need to connect with others. And no matter how you look at it in your life, you will always feel the need to connect with others. It is an innate human trait, an inherent need to blossom together, collectively. And I urge everyone to prioritize authentic connection as you would prioritize any other commitment in your life. In a time of great uncertainty for all of us, we can hold on to what cannot be taken away: trust and empathy and love for one another. This month and every month, remember that the foundation of pride is love, and everyone deserves to feel and be loved. As one of my favorite psychologists, Yuri Bronfenbrenner, famously said, "Every child needs an adult who is irrationally crazy about them." Be that adult who is irrationally crazy. Be the protective factor for LGBTQ youth. Be the neighbor who reaches out first. Be the person to greet everyone with a smile. Be the stranger to strike up a conversation. We are all victims of this crisis of connection, but we can all take conscious steps to connect with one another. And you're starting by being right here listening to me today and forming this community we call Justice Southbury. And as you move through busy lives and filled schedules, Place connection and collaboration at the forefront of your lists. As we build connected lives, we make it possible to build a connected world. Thank you.